1. Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning into the Standing Stones charity stream for Blount Pride. We thank you so much for coming. Danielle, do you want to tell them about the game that we're going to kick today off with?
Sure. Monster Care Squad is the first of 4 games we'll be playing today. It is by Sandy Pug Games and is a Ghibli-inspired tabletop adventure of healing monsters and solving local problems in the gentle world of Aldamura. You can get it at sandypuggames.itch.io/Monster Care Squad.
So we are raising money for Blount Pride. Blount Pride is the pride organization for Blount County, Tennessee. That is where I live, and is a place near and dear to a number of the folks here at Standing Stones. And luckily we have a great number of guests who are going to show up today, who are lending their talents to help us raise money for the group. We're putting on a Pride event in June, but we're also doing a number of other kind of community building projects as well as Pride. Turns out Prides cost a lot of money. I don't know if you knew that or not, but they're very expensive. So we're hoping to help Blount Pride out just a little bit by playing some fun games, taking some fun money, not fun money, like real, we need real money, not like fun money. No Bitcoin to fuck off. That's basically what we're doing. Do we have incentives for this game, Daniel?
We do, in fact, have incentives for this game. So if you donate $5, you can give a character an ace, which they can use to improve their rolls. And if you donate $10, then in the symbiosis step, you can move the players or the monster 1 step on the control track, which is kind of how they cure the monster at the end. So it is important. Yeah.
Nice. And playing with us today, you've heard Danielle. Joining us as well is Nichelle. Nichelle, introduce yourself.
Heyo, it's Nichelle. I go by she, her, and most of you may know me as Mistletoe T-Rex on Twitter, or She Who Ships in Darkness in the Blades of the Dark Discord. I'm one of the mods and content creators over there.
And joining us is Izzy.
Hey, I'm Izzy. You guys have heard me before. I use CCR pronouns. I am at the Shondeer on Twitter, and I'm here representing Hearthside Enclave.
Hell yes. I am going to dip because I am not part of this game. I'm just here.
Bye, Brian.
I'm Mr. Logistics.
Yep.
So you all have fun, and goodbye.
All right. Now that the mod is gone, let's party.
Monster asleep. Play Monster Care Squad.
Monster Care Squad is kind of powered by the apocalypse. It's not exactly similar, but it uses the same kind of framework, especially for dice rolling. And it proceeds in 3 phases. You have the diagnosis phase, where our heroes determine what is wrong with the monster. The synthesis phase, where they develop a cure, and the symbiosis phase, where they apply the cure to the monster. Aldamura is a special world that is created for Monster Care Squad. The artwork in this book is absolutely gorgeous. You should definitely pick it up for the artwork alone. The world is very peaceful. It's violence, post-war, and you have all these different monsters that live in the world and help the people there. But recently, some of the monsters have been getting ill due to something called the false gold. No one really knows what started the false gold, but it causes a wide range of varied symptoms, and in general causes the monsters a lot of pain and causes them to lash out and cause a lot of damage to the communities that they once worked together with. So along come our monster care specialists who have trained and developed the different skills necessary in order to heal these monsters and return them to their normal life. Today we have 2 monster care specialists who are being accompanied by their mentor. So if you don't mind, introduce your monster care specialists, starting with Nichelle.
All right. I have Daisy, who goes by she, her as well. And Daisy has some beautiful green, like soft emerald hair and just little rosy cheeks, and usually is just smiling all the time.
And Izzy, who are you playing?
I am playing Cascade Viridian, pronouns she, her. Cascade has like fluffy pink hair and a prosthetic arm and tan skin. She can usually be found just messing with plants. Plants and animals, and usually being exasperated at somebody.
Mm-hmm. And your mentor today is Erwin Rucker, everyone's favorite himbo, who uses he, him pronouns, and just imagine Steve Irwin. Just imagine Steve Irwin.
Is also the person Cascade's probably exasperated at.
Probably, 90% of the time. So you are adepts who are working on your master certification for monster care specializing. And you've been traveling for a while now with your mentor, Erwin, going through a couple of different towns in order to heal the monsters there. You have just been called to the town of... I lost the page. Great. Cool. I'm not stalling, you're stalling. Here we go.
I'm not vamping, you're vamping.
Right here, there we go. You're being sent to Yorkite, which is a small town at the base of a large mountain range that exists in the northernmost reaches of Aldamura. Deeper in the mountains is... Deeper in the mountains lies Yorkis Mal, the city that distills sunlight. Yorkite is just a way station on that journey towards Yorkis Mal, but it enjoys the patronage of a monster known as Yaki, which is an enormous furred dragon who prevents avalanches and controls the winter storms. But 5 days ago, a massive avalanche destroyed acres of farmland, and a nasty blizzard has kicked up in the area. The villagers say that they can hear Yaki crying in the night and are extremely concerned for his well-being. And so they have called upon you, our monster care specialists, to help him. So you travel the road north towards Yorkite. As we see here in this little hex map, it's in the center of the map. To the northeast, you have a forest. The northwest is the foothills and then mountains. And to the south, you have a river. As you enter the town, it's a rather small town. It is, population of like max 1,000 people. And imagine like wooden houses with kind of thatch roofs and things like that. And as we come into the town, we see Erwin leading the parade with his arm in a sling because he broke it on the last adventure. And he's smiling and chattering away at Daisy and Cascade. And as you enter the town, you're looking around to see if you can find the person who called you here. And you enter the center of town, which has like a little fountain. It is snowing, and the wind is picking up, but it's not an active blizzard in the town right now. And as you come into the center of town, a person comes up to you with blue hair and kind eyes, and they flag you down, and they're like, "Oh, you must be the monster care specialists. We're so happy to have you. My name is Ivy, and I'm going to help show you around to the kind of destruction we've seen, to help you get started." So, we are entering the diagnosis phase. Before you can treat your patient, you need to figure out what's wrong with them. Most sessions of Monster Care Squad will begin with your team having very little information about the monster on hand. Maybe you know what type of monster it is, what kind of damage it's caused, but you probably are missing some cards in your deck. That's what the diagnosis phase is all about. Diagnosis moves are all about asking around the town or village you're in for leads, looking for monster tracks and leavings, or even scouting out the monster beforehand. This is how you learn what is wrong with the monster so that you can create cures for it in the next phase. So, what would you like to do first in order to figure out what's wrong with Yaki?
Trying to make my brain wake up.
How is the weather here, even with this avalanche that I'm guessing normally doesn't get this far?
Yeah. Ivy kind of gestures towards the northwest, where they have a lot of their farmlands, and you can like just barely see like some mounds of rock that you imagine aren't normally there. And they're like, yeah, the weather has been much more snowy than usual. It's been much more windy than usual. Right now, we're experiencing a bit of a calm. But the avalanche happened like 5 days ago. It came all the way down the mountains through the foothills to our farm, which is impressive to say the least. Which is why we imagine that it's linked to Yaki, because otherwise, like, there would have been no way that it got this far.
That's a lot for it to get this far.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Me at my brain, wake the fuck up. You know how to think. Where's your brain cell?
Has anyone gotten hurt because of the avalanche?
So, a couple of the farmhands were injured by the avalanche, because landslides can happen so fast. But we were able to get them out of the debris, and they are currently recovering.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody went missing?
Nobody went missing.
That's good.
Yeah. Sounds like you might be trying to pull a thread. When you ask around for some information about the monster or its condition, roll plus allure.
Yeah. Do you want to do that, or do you want me to do that? Because you've been asking more questions than me.
I mean, I can do that. I mean, I can give people flowers. Maybe that would be calming.
Probably be better than Mia. My public speaking skills are not the best.
Well, I mean, you're talking pretty fine to me right now. I don't see why you have why you think you have an issue.
This is not public speaking. This is private speaking.
But we're in a public space.
But we're only talking to each other.
So you need more than just me listening. Well, I can go get some people if you want.
No, no.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Let's do your flower idea.
Okay. And I think Daisy will just go up and find a couple of people to talk to, and as she walks, she just kind of like grabs some seeds and like maybe a thing of dirt and just starts to rub it, like almost as if she's making a mud cake or something in her hands.
Bless.
So I think she just kind of like walks up to the first person that she sees. Hi.
Hi.
Who did you see?
Cassie behind Daisy, like, This
so
is
the person
definitely going to work.
The person in front of you is like a teenager. They've got like a mohawk and glasses, and they say, "Hi, you must be the monster care specialists. I'm Fred."
Huh? Hey, Fred? Would you like a daisy?
Thank you. That's very pretty.
So we were just wondering if you knew of any monsters or people that have gone missing in the last few days.
Go ahead and give me a roll plus allure.
Okay.
All I can hear, Nichelle, is that Sprite. All I can hear.
What kind of die are we rolling?
So you're gonna roll 2d6, plus
Plus 3, because I have haggle. I'm really good at this.
Yeah, my allure is +0.
Hold on. I also make sure. I can ask. I also have trade networks. So if I trade something valuable or unique or special, such as a daisy, because I have that upgrade, I can get honest. I can ask 2 questions.
Excellent.
At an 11.
Nice.
Damn. Nice. All right. So on a 10 plus, you get to ask 2 questions. You get honest answers to both questions. Ask the guide for one answer, then answer the other yourself. All right. So what's your first question?
Did anyone show up in town, monster or other, that was unusual right before the avalanche or right before the storm hit?
They did have a traveler that came through, who was here for like just one night. We like the rest of Aldeboro, we keep our inns open for anyone walking the roads and weary. But yeah, they were just here for a day. They seemed perfectly normal. And you get to ask and answer the second question.
Mm.
Cascade is just behind Daisy, like looking around, not good with people.
I think Daisy is going to ask another person.
Mm-hmm.
One of Fred's friends shows up.
Right.
Another teenager.
Yeah.
Fred the second.
Both named Fred.
They're both named Fred.
One's Fred, one's Freddy.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think the question that Daisy asks is, let's see. Ask the guide one question and answer the other one yourself. Gosh, I don't know what to answer on the second question. I think what's going to happen is Daisy is going to ask where does what's the dragon's name?
Yaki?
Yaki. Where does Yaki usually like to rest or like relax at between storms and things? And so would probably head in that direction
Okay.
to see if there's anything there.
Yeah. So Freddy is able to tell you, like where they know that Yaki usually like nests. It's up in the mountains, so it's a little bit of a hike, but you could definitely reach it, in like a day or so. So if you are headed that direction, are you also following Cascade?
I mean, you don't have to go if you don't want to.
See, the thing is I'm not good at talking to people, and I feel like if I stay here, I'm not going to get much accomplished.
Well, what are you good at? But I mean, we're working on your talking skills, but like what are you good at?
Making things.
You
I'm
know what we
Hmm?
could use are some walking sticks. I mean, it would help us
looks
be able to
thoughtful.
get up there. And you know, maybe Yaki needs a walking stick too. I don't know. Maybe he's hurt.
How big of a plant can you grow?
Oh, I mean, it really honestly depends on, you know, the lighting and the fertilizer. I'm pretty big.
Okay, could you do
Are
like
you?
2 like sturdy somethings?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Are you looking for like a branch? Or are you looking for like a thick one, like a tree?
probably more of like a branch or like a sturdy vine.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if you can get me like 2 different kinds, I maybe might be able to put them together.
Okay.
I have a question out of character.
Mhm.
Like, do we think that Cascade and Daisy have worked like extensively together before? Because I know, Danielle, you said that like we've been going around with Erwin, but have we had like other people? Have we gone out differently? Or have we both seen each other do our weird plant shit before?
I think that's up to you.
Because Cascade can create plant hybrids. She just has to have
I'm
the 2 plants in front of her.
I'm totally game for this not being the first time that the two of them have done this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, I just need 2 different plants, and then I can do my thing.
Okay.
I think
All
I can
right.
make us something sturdy enough that it's not gonna just snap in the snow.
Right. Hmm. And Daisy just kind of like pulls out her little satchel of seeds and just starts pulling some seeds to the side. Okay, well, I think these two have a pretty. I like the leaves of this one, and this one has a really pretty flowering bud. I think they'd look good together. Here, why don't you use these?
You have to grow them first.
Right. Okay.
I
you
can't
got
grow them. I can only put them together.
Mhm. Okay. And I think she'll just grow them.
Yeah. Then we've got two people who should ostensibly work real well together, but their personalities are so different.
Uh, okay. So I think
Just make two really weird looking walking sticks, basically,
Yeah,
from
I mean,
these plants, like
you make two walking sticks.
that are somehow also still alive. I don't know how that works. Magic. Bullshit.
magic bullshit.
Yeah.
I think Fred speaks up as you kind of finish making these walking sticks. And he's like, if um if you're headed up to Yaki's nest, would you mind taking him this, or like maybe leaving this gift on his we call it his mailbox. It's not really a mailbox. It sounded weird to call it an altar because that's not what it is, but it's a little farther away from his nest, so he won't see you because he's kind of maybe dangerous right now. But if you're going up there to look to see what's wrong anyway, could you take him this gift basket? Maybe it will help him feel better.
Yeah, no problem. We can do that.
Thank you.
Cascade takes the gift basket and just loops it over one arm, I guess, because
Mm-hmm.
Are there human-sized snacks in there?
No, these are for the monster, Daisy.
Well, I can get monstrous if I'm hangry.
We have snacks.
Okay.
If you want more snacks, go ask Erwin. You know he keeps so many on him.
So, Erwin! And she'll just kind of wander off.
Cascade just face palms. It's like, all right, thank you both.
You're welcome.
To the two friends.
Erwin kind of looks up from where he has been talking with Ivy about your lodging or whatever. And he's like, "Yeah, Daisy, what's up?" You're muted. Oh, there you go. It was cutting you off for a second.
Oh, sorry about that. I don't know why. So, we got a gift basket. But, that's for him, not us. Do you have anything else? For
Oh, snacks?
She wants snacks. She wants
snacks.
Oh, yeah.
I
have snacks. And he takes his backpack off of the one shoulder that isn't in a sling, and starts digging through it, and it just starts taking things out like Mary Poppins bag style. There's a thing of sausage and a bunch of different greens and fruits, and some carrots.
I have an important question.
Uh-huh.
Does Erwin have a little squirrel creature?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's chattering away as he's unloading all of this stuff, and then he gives it a nut, and then it stops chattering while he unloads the rest of the food. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so take whatever you need. I'm gonna stay here, cause I
You
can't
don't
really.
need to break your other arm.
The doctor
Yeah.
told me not to extend myself, so I guess I'll listen to him this time, because last time he got really mad.
You can probably just go look at the cool like mountain animals they've got here.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And please don't get stepped on by one.
Oh, that's not going to happen. Don't worry about it.
Cascade looks incredulous.
Cascade told me that is because you were inside the enclosure. You're supposed to stay on the paths. I didn't know that either, but evidently you're supposed to stay on the paths.
But where's the fun in that? I
Cascade-
can't pet them if I'm staying on the outside.
But
Cascade pinching the bridge of her nose like I'm surrounded by idiots. I love them both, but Jesus Christ.
if you think about it, like, I mean, it could have been worse than your arm next time. I mean, here, and she'll just kind of like encase the entire cast and whatnot just in flowers. Now you won't have to think about it.
Well, thanks.
I feel like now he's just gonna have the cast bitten by something that wants to eat the flowers.
Yes, that is exactly what's going to happen.
Yes, it is exactly what's
But
gonna
it
happen.
does mean the critter's going to get close enough that he can look at it and touch it.
Cascade just like, nothing I say will stop this. We need to grab our heavier coats because it's gonna get colder the further up we get.
Okay.
And no, Daisy, covering yourself in moss does not count.
Okay.
Moss does not like the cold, and you know that.
Well, frost moss does.
But will that keep you warm? Or will it make you colder?
Details, aren't we supposed to be getting on the road? I think we're supposed to, go check on the and then go take out the
Just Cascade shoving Daisy's heavy coat at her. Like, you take this and you put it on.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, but did you use the sticks yet?
Yes, look, they're both right here.
Okay.
Also, somehow they're both still alive. I'll give you the one that's got the most flowers. Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I guess we just take snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Cascade makes sure to put the ones that aren't just stuff that's not going to keep Daisy alive for very long in her bag. Like, okay, gonna need these.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So this sounds like you are following the trail. So someone give me a roll plus acuity.
I could do that.
Not me. I'm a fat 0.
So that's 2d6 plus my acuity?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey. 11. Damn, y'all are rolling hot. All right.
Nice.
Yep. When you follow clues, tracks, or hunches in search of something hidden or obscured, roll plus acuity. On a 10 plus, you reach the end of the trail without much trouble. Ask the guide what you find or tell them yourself. So I think you make it up into the mountains with very little problem. It's a bit of a hike, but you're still in that kind of calm between storms. So like you can see the cloud or the sun breaking through some of the snow clouds. It is still snowing, but you've got coats to keep you dry. And you make it up to where where Freddie told you the nest was. You find the mailbox to drop off the gift basket. And you are able to creep around and kind of see from a distance Yaki. Yaki is a enormous dragon, blue and silver furred. Only right now he doesn't look great. He you can see from this distance, you can see what look like these crystalline structures on his head and neck. And you can see something kind of smudging his face, but you can't tell from this distance what it is.
That doesn't look great, Cascade says from probably wherever they're like hiding
Mm-hmm.
behind a bunch of rocks or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not 100% sure what he's supposed to look like normally, but it's probably not that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so either.
And as you're watching, he kind of groans, and it's weird because, like, the noises that you've heard around you haven't, like, you're in the mountains, but there hasn't been too much of an echo. Like, the landscape isn't built for that, really.
Mm-hmm.
But as he moves and groans, you hear, like, his voice reverberating a bit.
Hmm.
And he's like in his resting place, like where he usually.
Yeah, he's like curled up and grumbling as he tries to find a comfortable position and then can't.
Like a very large dog.
Like a very large dog. Weird.
That wasn't Danielle's purpose at all.
Just what they know.
Yeah, you know.
I think Cascade is like squinting to try and see better, and then does a look around to see if there's another hiding spot a little bit closer,
Mm-hmm.
and like I think tries to make a go for that spot while Yaki's not looking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna get closer.
Yeah, that sounds like in harm's way. When you navigate a dangerous environment or situation in search of information, roll plus grit.
Cool, that's a +0, so it's just 2d6.
Yep.
I have a pretty good grit. If we wanted to also do something else as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't mind either way. I'm playing by the Brian rulebook of play your character like you stole them.
Oh, okay. Because I have resuscitation, and I have a 2+ grit.
Ooh.
So if you wanted
Mine's-
me to inspect,
I mean, yeah, go for it.
do you want me to do that after you go? Because I want to see what Cascade does.
You want to see if Cascade makes it and doesn't get spotted.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, Cascade's gonna do like some dumb bullshit to try and get over there.
5. All right.
Nope.
So on a 5, oh gosh, it doesn't even say on a 6.
There's not a fail state on this one. I think it probably doesn't happen.
Yeah, so yeah. So I think the situation changes too quickly for you to get what you came for. So you're trying to move when Yaki is looking the other way. And as you kind of creep out from behind the rocky outcropping where you are, he suddenly shifts again. And the way that he's shifted is basically staring directly at the rocky outcropping where you are. and so you're like, oh, nope.
Nope.
Red light.
Freezes in place. Like, nope. My hair is bright pink. I do not need to go out there. I will, in fact, be seen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that didn't work.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, you try something, because I will be seen if I go out there.
I mean, if you would have worn moss, maybe you would have been able to hide that hair.
Very quietly while Daisy's doing her thing, just me.
Beautiful. As Daisy very obviously struggles with the giant coat, trudging through the snow. Yeah, I think I want to see, like, you said that he sounds muffled and stuff. I want to see if there's like anything that's like interfering with his breathing. I want to see, is he having a reaction? Is he
Mm-hmm.
like what's going on here?
Okay. That sounds like a thing that should be in this book. Hmm.
It sounds again like Follow the Trail.
It does, or possibly Treasured Insight. No, that's help. Prognosis. No, that's when you did the thing. Here's what I got. It sounds like here's what I got. There we go. I have definitely memorized the book and what all the moves do. Sure, I came very prepared. So, when you put forward a hypothesis about the monster's condition based on evidence you've found, roll plus acuity. On a 10 plus, pick 2. On a 7 to 9, pick 1.
Oh boy. I thought I was going to be using grit, which is +2, but no, acuity is 0. So 2d6.
You could probably
Plus-
use grit if you're just trying to get like closer or like do something besides just kind of like looking.
Yeah, I think I would try to do it another way that I am more capable of
Mm-hmm.
than just straight up looking. I'm gonna try. I'm going to try to get some of the plants around his like nesting area to like come give me, themselves or some leaves or something so I can inspect them.
Okay.
Because I have plant friend,
Mm-hmm.
and so I can coax a plant into giving up a few petals, a
Mm-hmm.
flower, or even a branch.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I think you whisper to the plants at your feet, and they kind of like pass along the information. And what comes back to you on kind of like this wave of greenery is a flower that is covered in frost, to the point where like it is wilting and dying. And it's also splashed with this like gold colored liquid that you think maybe caused it.
Gross.
What happened to you?
Something not fun, it looks like.
Am I familiar with it at all, or do I need to roll to find out?
You've been on a couple of other missions. This color reminds you a lot of the false gold. Like, you've seen this manifest in a couple of different ways, but, like, it seems like this kind of color is usually part of it somehow. Maybe not necessarily always as a liquid, but, like, the gold color of it is very evocative.
Mm-hmm.
Something's gone wrong. Cascade!
What?
Something's gone wrong with the flowers.
No shit.
I mean, I know that you know that happened, but, like, look at it. It's the wrong color.
Oh, well, that doesn't look good.
Obviously, that's what I've been trying to tell you. Are you gonna do something?
What do you want me to do? Get closer? Like I already tried?
I mean, I can go ahead and, like, go up and ask him if he's feeling okay.
Do not do that.
Why not?
Because you will get eaten. Probably.
No, he's not feeling good.
Yeah, when something's not feeling good, they sometimes lash out.
I'm gonna eat something green.
Cascade gives Daisy a look.
Well, I don't see you coming up with suggestions on what to do.
You look like broccoli.
Do not.
No, that was mean. If anything, I look like pink broccoli.
My hair isn't that poofy, is it?
No, mine is.
I don't think broccoli has that kind of flower, though. Not in that color. You should have gone more with a purple mauve color.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm not changing my hair color. I like the pink. I love that we both have plant friend as a move, but like the way that we approach it is very different. Like I'm gonna whisper to the plants, whereas like Cascade is very like clinical about it.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to get closer
Mm-hmm.
because I cannot figure out what's going on unless if I get closer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
Mm-hmm. You could try again, maybe with Daisy helping through treasured insight.
Yeah. You want to do that, Daisy?
Sure, yeah.
So that means that Daisy rolls first.
Yep. When someone on your team is on the verge of a breakthrough and you have a relevant training or background, roll plus stat. On a 10 plus, say how your help changes their action. They gain +1 to their next roll as long as it makes use of your help. So this might be where you're using your grit of +2 in order.
Yeah. Let's do it.
There we go.
Shit.
Damn. All right, so I'm imagining like Daisy talking to the plants and them growing higher to like provide more cover. So go ahead and give me another in harm's way cascade.
Right.
I mean, or I could hear follow the trail as well if you wanted. Either one. They're slightly different flavors.
I think in harm's way makes more sense here. So
Mhm. Okay.
that's just a flat 2. Well, not flat because I get a +1 now. So it's 2d6 plus 1.
Yes.
No.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh, I am so sorry. Yes, yay!
Audience, I rolled 2 1s. +1 is 3. No, I don't do this!
So I think what happens is y'all are kind of whispering back and forth, and the foliage grows up, and Yaki notices the foliage growing because it's a little weird.
Only a
And
little.
and he gets up, and he moves closer to your position.
Oh, no.
And as he does, you can see that gold liquid is running down his cheeks, and from his nose, like almost like he's crying, but it's like these goldish tears. And every time one hits the ground is covered in this frost. And he gets close enough that he sees you, and he roars. And the sound of that roar is echoing and amplifying through the crystalline structures on his head and neck and shoulders, so that it is painful to listen to. And you take the opportunity to book it.
Cascade grabbing Daisy like, we're going!
Yeah, cold.
And so you book it down the mountain a ways. You can still hear that roar kind of echoing through the air. And then you hear an answering rumble in the ground beneath your feet. What do you do?
Fuck.
He needs tea. Did you even leave the basket?
Yes, I left the basket!
Did
That
you
was the
leave
first
it
thing
where
I
he
did.
could see it?
It's in his mailbox! We just need to go. Daisy, we need to run, or we are going to get caught. By the dragon, by an avalanche, something. We need to run. Cascade says as they're running.
He's got ice boogers.
I don't think that's what those were.
I'm having too much fun with this character.
This character is so dusty, and I can't handle it.
I have no idea who Dusty is, but I want to meet him.
No, from the game we last played together.
Oh, yes, Dusty.
So you race down the mountain. You manage to get away safely. You see, as you're running down the mountain, you see, like, on one of the far sides, you can see an avalanche coming down. It happens to be, like, kind of northeastish, so it's missing some of the farmlands. But you're like, oh, that's what happened.
Cool.
Yep. So you make it back. Freddie is very grateful to you for delivering the package. And so...
Cascade, breathing hard, just gives Freddie a thumbs up. Like, yep.
You may spend a hold, which you got because you made a promise to one of these people and you kept it, to either mark one clock segment as successful, to gain a session ace, or to gain +1 supply.
What do we want to do?
Well, we need to help you out. With the rolls.
I see how
Poor
it is.
Cascade. No, that's out of
see how
character.
it is.
That's out of character. I mean, I don't know. He just has a snotty nose. We just need to fix it.
It's not just a snotty nose.
I mean, that means we need to get some really big warm blankets,
Oh, God.
and we need to make sure that he has some soothing tea. I'm pretty sure I have some ginger root around.
Oh my God.
But
There
like,
are
what
wonderful
gave him the
ideas
cold?
for the synthesis stage.
Like, something gave him the cold. Oh, Did he smell flowers and he was allergic and that's why he got a cold?
Cascade just like trying to figure out if she should just walk away or start laughing. Just
Well, what are your thoughts?
I don't
You
know
look,
yet.
you look really upset about this entire thing. Totally oblivious that it's Daisy.
Out of character. I think we should use this hold to get a session ace.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So the I will mark it here in my document that I have.
Yeah. Got that session ace.
Yeah. All right. So it sounds like Daisy is maybe asking Cascade what she's got in terms of a theory.
What you got? Come on, tell me.
So I think, and then Cascade starts that sentence and then stops and like does some more thinking on it.
Mm-hmm.
My initial reaction is that, yeah, he's allergic to something, because it wasn't just from his nose; it was also like tears, which could be irritation.
Right? But
But it was like completely liquid from both of those spaces. And every time that liquid hit the ground, it caused frost.
Right? I mean, I'm just also wondering, like, did anyone know that he has an allergen? Like, does everyone in the village like know that that's something that he could have?
We could ask Ivy.
I like her name. Reminds me of plants.
Danielle, do you want me to roll? Here's what I got.
If you want, or if you want to go ask Ivy, you can pull a thread. We do have to fill this clock in order to move to the next phase.
Yeah, we're gonna I'm gonna roll. Here's what I got. So that's
Okay.
plus acuity,
Uh-huh.
which is +1 for me.
I got an idea.
Okay. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah. I only took moves that work in the synthesis stage. No.
Ugh.
That is 6.
So you can spend an ace to add 1d4 to your roll.
Can I spend the session ace?
Yeah, I'd say go for it.
So I just roll 1d4.
Mm-hmm. And that will be added to your total. 3, so you get a 9.
Woo!
All right. On a 7 to 9, pick one. Mark one clock segment as successful. Gain a session ace. You know where the monster is headed next. Learn the name and effects of one wound.
We're marking a clock segment.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are making progress in determining what is wrong and figuring out what you need to do in order to help. Cool.
I think while Cascade's doing that, I think Daisy's going to approach it from a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as they ran, Daisy still kind of like kept that one flower with her from his nest. And is going to I'm going to try to negotiate. Like try to figure out like if in the plant's memory, like when did this start? Was there another plant? Was there somebody that came and visited? Like, do you remember anything? um,
Mhm.
the wind ability.
Okay.
And like I try to I think what I'm trying to do is as I'm talking to them, I'm trying to give them some more new petals, like I'm growing new petals for them to replace the damaged frosted ones,
Uh-huh.
kind of like adding them in.
Mhm.
Um
Huh.
so
Yeah, so that sounds like are you um so you are fixing their
yeah, give me 1 second here. I'm gonna type some stuff up.
yeah. Oh, I see. Um uh okay. So, why don't we take a quick break of like 5 minutes because we've been going an hour?
Yeah.
Um so Brian, if you don't mind.
Thanks.
Okay. I wasn't sure what was going wrong on Brian's end, and so I didn't want to
Yeah.
just keep going in the fiction.
No, yeah, I had a moment of like, oh no, have we not been on air this whole time?
We've been muted the whole time.
That's terrible.
All right, so we're back. Our monster care specialists have gone up the mountain and visited Yaki, and they discovered a couple of the things that might be ailing him. They were chased away from the mountain by the angry dragon and have come back to the town. In the process of all of this, they have filled the clock with one failure and one success in terms of figuring out what is wrong with Yaki. So we're halfway through the diagnosis phase. Let's bring this home and figure out what is wrong with our good monster friend. So, I believe, Daisy, you were proposing to do something.
Yes, I am trying to give new petals to the plant that we fled with, and seeing if I can coax some information out of them.
Okay.
So,
Cool. That sounds like maybe pulling a thread.
mhm,
So roll plus allure.
not that high.
Well, you do get to add +1 because you're haggling with these plants by providing petals. So you're using your training. So you get an additional +1, which makes it a 7.
Thank
So
But I learned a disturbing, frustrating, or intriguing truth about the item I just traded away.
Okay. So first, go ahead and give me your question. So you're trying to find out more information about what specifically?
Did someone or something
Mm-hmm.
give something to Yagi that caused this?
Yeah. So the flowers tell you that Yaki, the traveler who came through, who stayed for one night, snuck out in the middle of the night and picked some herbs from a place deep in the forest, and then gave those herbs to Yaki as like a tribute. And the after that is when the symptoms started. So it might be related. It might also not be, but the plants seem like they tell you that, Yaki never goes to that part of the forest. So, like, why would the traveler even bring those herbs? Like, the Yaki avoids those. Like, they don't make a good tribute.
Allergy theory growing.
And so you also learned something about what you traded away. Disturbing, frustrating, or intriguing truth about the item you traded away. So you're handing out like replacement petals and things like that.
Yes.
So I think what you learn about these petals that you're handing out is brain, think of something faster challenge.
They're frostbitten?
The replacements.
Yeah, the replacements for the frostbitten ones.
I don't know. I was just trying to help.
No, it's a good help. I think what is frustrating is, because frustrating makes sense, is you had some of that gold liquid on your fingers from before when you took the frostbitten plant away from his nest. And so some of it was still on your fingers, and you can see, like, not the whole petal because there's not enough of it, but like just there are pieces of it that are like browned from whatever this cold is. And it's strange because like on your fingers, it doesn't like you look at your fingers afterwards and you can see like a little bit of the gold smudge on them. And you're like, your fingers don't feel cold, but anywhere that you touch the plants has got like those brown spots.
Can you fix these?
What? Wheezing
you-
over to the side.
Can you fix these?
Yes, sir. Yes. Sorry, my cat just came in.
Marley.
What? Marley. What? A cat comes up.
You say that you fix and make things. Can you fix these? I must have something on my fingers. They just keep turning brown.
You should probably go wash your hands.
I did.
Well, that's not good.
I mean,
Did
I
you use
didn't.
soap? Did you use soap?
No. I used
Okay.
dirt. I
No!
am making plants. I'm
Go
supposed to
use
use
soap!
dirt.
Go use soap! Oh my god. You are as bad as Erwin, I swear to god.
But
Give me the
it
plant.
will be too sterilized.
Give me
It won't. It needs a good bacteria.
Okay. No, okay, here. Give me the plant, go wash your hands with soap, and then shove your hands back in dirt. You just have to get that stuff off.
Okay. Thank you for fixing it. Also, be careful, because I told him I would fix it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good.
I've got it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'll go wash my hands.
Go wash your hands.
Fine.
I'm just gonna... I also have Plant Friend. I'm just gonna use that in combination with my ability to make weird hybrid plants to fix this plant. Like,
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
take other, like, petals and just basically hybridize the plant cells so that it's like, okay, this is fixed now, you're fine.
The plants say thank you.
You're welcome. I swear to god.
There, I washed my hands.
Look, I fixed your plant.
Is it completely fixed?
Yes, look at it. Look at
Is
it.
it brown anywhere?
No, not where it's not supposed to be.
Well, why'd you use that color?
That's what I had.
It doesn't match. It's a misspell. You
Take
gotta
it.
be self-conscious now.
No, it won't. It's a plant.
They
What's
have
going to
names,
happen
too.
is all the other plants are going to end up eventually looking like this. And then no one will feel out of place. Take your plant back. I want to stop holding it.
How does it grip so hard?
It's not. It's just sitting in my hand.
Up the plant.
I love this. I don't get to play Cascade that often, and I love this so much. God. Okay. So it's possible that, yes, Yaki is allergic to whatever the fuck that person fed him.
Why would he want the dragon not to do his job? That means he's after something else.
Well, we can't focus on that right now. We need to focus on the fact that the monster up in the mountains is causing problems.
No, he just can't fix his problems.
That's fair.
The
But
mountains
also-
were already there, so avalanches could happen normally. He just helps it to where they can grow fields where they normally can't.
We still have to fix it.
Yes,
We need
yes,
we need to focus on the dragon first, and maybe Yaki will have information for us after that. But let's fix the dragon first. I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna try rolling. Here's what I got again.
Okay.
To try and figure out, like, okay, that part of the forest, these plants. So we're gonna do
Mhm.
acuity +1.
Yeah, and
You
you're
got
trained in
this.
monster biology, right? So
Yes. I believe that's what my acuity is.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds relevant. So give yourself
Do
an
it.
additional +1.
So +2.
Mhm.
Bop. That's a 9.
9, yeah.
Yeah.
On a 7 to 9, pick one. Mark one clock segment as successful. Gain a session ace. You know where the monster is headed next. Learn the name and effects of one wound.
Hmm. The toss-up between marking a clock segment successful or learning the names and effects of a wound.
Mm-hmm.
Both helpful.
You will have the opportunity to learn the name and effects of a wound during the synthesis phase.
Okay, then we're
Yeah.
gonna mark a clock segment successful.
Okay. Very good. So you are at 2 successes and 1 failure. So you think about like what kind of herbs grow in that forest, and I think you probably ask around a little bit too, and they tell you that there is a particular kind of angel's trumpet that is relatively harmless to humans, but that is poisonous to monsters. And will, like, the fact that it grows in the middle of that forest means that monsters avoid it. And they're like, but like nobody would give that as a tribute to Yaki. Like everybody knows that's bad for them. And when you think about it, you're like, yeah, you know, I've studied some angel's trumpet, and like you know that it can cause some of the symptoms that you're seeing. Cool.
Okay, awesome. Definitely fun. Definitely something we want to see in a dragon that controls the weather.
I think then that Ivy comes up to you with Erwin. Erwin somehow has like a new bruise on his face,
Yeah, of course he does.
but he's
Cascade just
smiling.
sighs,
And
knowing he
Erwin,
got stepped on.
yeah. And Erwin's like, hey, Cascade and Daisy. I've been talking with Ivy, and she says that she might be able to offer some of her scouts who have been up in the mountains, but they aren't feeling really great. So maybe you could help gather some of the herbs for their healing, and then once they feel better, they can tell you more about what they saw while they were up in the mountains.
Somebody's messing up and try to go after something else.
Can you say that again?
I did not hear any of that, sorry.
Daisy is just like, I told you something was going on. Someone is doing something. There's something going on in the mountains. They don't want us to see it.
We still have to fix it. Yes, we'll do that. What are the herbs? We'll either figure out how to grow them or we'll go get them.
They list off like a small list of ingredients, like ginger and feverfew and
Some other stuff.
some other stuff that I can't come up with off the top of my head right now. Most of the stuff is like in the forest. It's not very far, but like they don't have anybody on hand that can go and gather this stuff right now. So they ask if you can go and gather that for them.
Yeah. I figure we probably have some of it on us just because of who we both are as people. But there's some of it where it's like, this is better fresh. We should go get it.
Yeah.
So we spend like half a day, I guess, doing that.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and
Probably
give me.
arguing with each other.
Yeah, probably arguing with each other. Give me a follow the trail, either one of you. When you follow clues, tracks, or hunches in search of something hidden or obscured.
And that would be using which
That's
training
acuity.
Yeah.
Acuity.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to do it?
I have a fat 0, so
Yeah, I've got a +1, so I will do it.
Okay.
Pop. That's a 7.
7. Pick one. You disturb something that shouldn't have been disturbed. You lose the trail but find yourself somewhere interesting anyway. You break something important.
Oh no. You lose the trail but find yourself somewhere interesting anyway.
Okay, yeah. You end up in the clearing with the angel trumpet. And you can very clearly see where like masses of this stuff has been picked. And you're like, yeah, this is definitely what has caused this.
Someone being a bitch.
Yeah, someone is being a bitch.
And I am going to punch them if I see them. Who the fuck would do this?
Right.
And how the fuck did how did this give the dragon false gold?
Who knows?
Cause that's fucking weird. I want to see if there's anything weird about the plants.
Okay. Let's see here.
I mean, I could just use plant friend.
Sure, go ahead and use plant friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna like, let's see. I'm gonna like dig around in like my bag and pull out like I think I've got like a fine grain like fertilizer for the area for some of the plants, and some of them that look like the healthiest to come over and I'm like, okay, let's some fertilizer down. Okay, what's going on? Y'all good? It's like a dragon ate you guys and now has false gold. What? Y'all good?
The plants will tell you that they're not good at time. They're not good at time. They say that before someone came and picked the flowers, the same person came and poured something over their roots that was yellow. And it tasted funny, but like it didn't hurt. And then the person came and picked the flowers, and they've heard some roars coming from the mountains. That doesn't sound great. But that's all they know.
It's not great.
Thank you for the fertilizer. This tastes much better.
Hopefully it clears out the yellow stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of like sprinkles more of it around like, okay. Well, yeah. The plants gave the dragon false gold. Most likely. And I relay the information to Daisy like somebody fucked with the plants to fuck with the dragon.
I've been trying to tell you that this entire time.
Me.
Don't have to get upset with me.
Listen, my focus, like, I understand. Daisy, I get it. I know that you are trying to think ahead. I'm trying to figure out how to fix the dragon, which is the immediate problem. Thank you for retaining all of this other information, though, because we will need it later. I do appreciate you.
We actually should be following the person first, because if he's doing it to the dragon, who knows what other monsters up in the mountains he's doing it to. Hey, plants, do you have any of that yellow stuff left? Can you share?
Just excrete it? That's gross.
They need to get it out of their system.
I think they tell you that they, like, they're pretty sure that all of it was in the flowers that the person took.
Don't have a single one of you left that
There's
had
like
it.
there's like one wilted flower in the back.
Do you feel sick? I can help you feel better if you just cough it up.
This is
Come on.
like Alice in Wonderland kind of shit. This makes me think of the garden with the flowers.
Yeah, I'm totally here for it. I will attempt to do this. I will attempt to trade.
Hmm?
I will give it better fertilizer or better food than what it was given if it would give me the bad ones.
Yeah, it'll give you the poisoned flowers.
I love that we're treating this field of flowers as if it's a monster. As we can talk to plants.
Yeah. The flowers have a limited life anyway, so like the flower isn't necessarily wilting because of the false gold, it's just wilting because it's older. But it will drop those few wilting flowers that are left from that particular bloom so that you can have them, definitely.
Sweet.
When you get back to the town, Ivy is very thankful for the herbs that you were able to gather. And the scouts are able to tell you some of what they saw. A lot of it lines up with what you saw. They also saw that Yaki's fur seemed to be carrying a lot of static electricity. In like it, you could see the sparks traveling between his haunches, basically, and that it looked like every time it happened, the air around Yaki would get like charged in some way.
Oh, so you just turned the dragon into a monster hunter monster.
I've never played Monster Hunter.
Me either.
But you may spend your hold on one of the following options. Mark one clock segment as successful, gain a session ace, gain +1 supply. You now have 3 session aces.
Clock, 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 clock.
Clock.
All right, so you fill the clock, which means we are on to prognosis. When the clock is full and it's time to move on, check the clock. If every segment is marked success, gain a critical ace and ask the guide what you need to cure the monster's wounds. If more than one segment is marked success, roll plus successful segments. On a 10+, gain a critical ace and ask the guide one question about the cure. On a 7 and 9, either gain a critical ace or ask the guide one question about the cure. On a 6 or below, move forward anyway. You don't know how to treat this, but you're gonna do your best.
Do you want to roll, or should I roll?
What are we rolling?
2d6
rolling-
plus 3.
Correct.
I'll give it a shot.
All right.
Wow,
Hey.
nice.
Yes, that's a 12.
You gain a critical ace.
We go to Erwin with all this information, like, what do you think is going on? Show him the flowers, talk about what the scouts said, talk about what we saw and what we heard.
Erwin will tell you Erwin will tell you that, you know, it sounds like you have you've done a really good job in gathering the information. And it sounds like you're right that whatever happened to these flowers, feeding it to Yaki has made him ill. And that in order to cure normal angel trumpet poisoning, you need to provide like a special tincture that you both have previously learned the recipe for. And to affect the false gold as well, you might have to use some of the hair of the dog, so to speak.
Oh my gosh, Cascade, guess what?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We get to make that dragon do a hairball.
That's... Audience cannot see the face I just made, but it's that face that you make when somebody says something and you're like, that's not what that meant. That's not what that meant at all. No, hair of the dog means using the thing that made you sick. It's what they refer to when you have a hangover and you drink alcohol in the morning to cure it. So we use the false gold that we can extract from the flowers we picked. And use it in the tincture.
Yeah, you totally lost me. We're just gonna make him give a hairball, right?
Yeah, okay. You keep on. Looks to Erwin for help.
Erwin kind of shrugs.
It's the same thing, right?
No.
Like, we're just gonna make him cough it up, right?
I mean, he might puke. Who knows?
That's a hairball.
That's not a hairball.
He's got fur. If you put the hair of the dog in it, it's a fur ball.
Is that how Yaki cleans himself? Like, because I don't... That depends on how he takes a bath, but we're in the weeds. We are in the weeds, Daisy. We need to get out of the weeds.
We're standing right in the middle. We're not in any weeds. Yes, I understood what you said.
That makes like Cascade actually like I just did. Just starts laughing. It's like, Daisy, sometimes I'm this close. And her fingers are touching.
All right, synthesis. Monster Care Squad specialists don't carry around every single imaginable poultice, cure, and tonic in their bags. That would be really unwieldy, and besides, most monsters tend to respond best to local treatments and methods. On-site procurement is the name of the game, and the synthesis phase is all that. Mechanically, it's similar to the diagnosis phase. You make moves and take actions to brew medicine, prepare tools, and uncover local wisdom to better prepare yourself to face the monster and stop the false gold-induced rampage before it gets out of hand. So, how do you go about beginning to make this cure?
What is all of my... Aha! Ha! I had to double check what I'm good at.
What are you thinking, Cascade? You're giving a very mischievous grin.
Okay. So. We know what the tincture is, and we know that we have to add the false gold extraction to it.
Yes.
The problem is, because we know how to make that, the problem is giving it to him. So I've been playing a lot of Legends Arceus.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot. And you want to know how you calm down the Pokemon in that game?
Uh-huh.
You throw things at them.
Yep.
They're called balms, and you throw them at them until they calm down. It's made of their favorite foods, plus some medicine. So we put the tincture in whatever Yaki's favorite food is, and we just throw it at him.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose of the gift basket in his mailbox?
No. Because he'll still have that, and it won't be thrown at him.
Do we have to throw things at him?
I mean, are we going to get close enough to put it in his mouth?
We can ask. Just say, "Hey, can we come closer and try to help you?"
we could try to do that. I am still going to make them into little balls. I'm trying to do here's the plan. Ow.
Mhm.
I just kicked my desk. Mostly because I can roll plus fine apothecary.
Hmm.
So that I can
Yeah,
have,
me too. Let's do it.
because I think apothecary would give me another +1 here.
Do it.
So that's gonna be roll 2d6 plus 2. Blah, blah. That's a 12!
Nice.
Fuck yeah!
Alright. So pick 2 and mark 1 clock segment as a success.
Fucking dabs. Alright, so I get to pick between what are the foreseeable risks with this plan, what do we need to make this plan work, what is one unforeseen risk to this plan, and when we ask, our guide or mentor will answer truthfully. Okay. What is one unforeseen risk to this plan?
Oh, I know what I can look at for help here. The it's gonna be difficult to give it to Yaki. First, because from your experience interacting with him briefly before, he does not seem particularly amenable to visitors. Because he's hurting and trying to do that thing that animals do when they're hurt, which is go hide somewhere and hopefully heal. And the other reason is that you think back to the way that those crystal shards were growing around his head and neck, and you think, like, it's going to be really hard to throw this in such a way that he gets any in his mouth. So you're going to have to figure out a way to get around those crystal shards, or maybe even break them down enough that you can throw past them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He just needs hot tea. He'll get everything out of his nose, and then you can, like, get it in there.
If we put mint, like spicy peppers or something, would really clear him out. What do we need to make this plan work, Danielle? Erwin, Ivy.
I think Erwin likes your spicy peppers plan. Ivy will tell you that the spicy peppers, this feels like a tongue twister, the spicy peppers grow like on a cliff edge. Like, they're hard to get to, but you can get to them. You're gonna have to do a little bit of rock climbing to get to them. And
Said Erwin pleadingly, can you send the squirrel?
the squirrel is nowhere to be found. It is fucked off somewhere, probably getting into trouble. Erwin looks like he's gonna turn and ask it something, and it's just not there. It does the anime thing of, like, the dotted line outline. Yeah. The thing is just gone.
Beautiful.
Ah, never mind. Should have expected that every time we try to ask. Unless if it's something easy. You need to train the squirrel better.
Like, his eyes twinkle a little bit, and he's like, "This is a test for you, not for the squirrel."
Yeah, okay.
And
I will remember that the next time you break your leg.
That won't happen. So the spicy peppers that grow on the cliff edge will be helpful. They have some of the herbs that you're going to want for your tea is underneath the... it's in the farms, but the farms are currently underneath some debris, so you may need to help move it around. move it off of it so you can get to the herbs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okie dokie. So that's the thing we can do. So it sounds like we have now moved to shopping list because we found out a vital ingredient that we need.
Mhm.
That's roll plus acuity. We already know.
Well, you know where to get it and where it grows. You might need to take on the world to scale the cliff.
Yeah. What is my force? +0, boxing. What is your force, Daisy?
Weight training.
And it's a...
-1.
-1.
Okay, I will roll this.
I've been trying to get some of the flowers, to get like a little beefier, a little bit more stable for the winds and bigger, flowers, but they're not doing so hot.
This isn't a fiddle leaf fig.
I don't know what you mean by that, but okay.
You shake, out of character, you shake fiddle leaf figs so that they grow better.
Oh, okay.
It simulates the wind.
Something like that.
Yeah, it simulates the wind, so you shake them. There's one in my office, and I every so often will go over and I'll shake it, because nobody else does it. Anyway. Okay. Does boxing help me at all here?
Pitch me on how it does.
Upper body strength.
Sure.
This is 2d6 plus 1.
Do it.
Oh, man. That's a 4. Nope.
4. Nope.
Nope.
So the clock still advances, but it is a failure.
I look at the cliff and I'm like, fuck.
So I think what happens is you manage to get the pepper, but in the process, I think you have to spend your supply. So you start each game with 1 supply collectively. And I think in the process of doing this, you have to use a lot of your resources in, rope climbing equipment type things.
That makes sense.
So you have spent your 1 supply in order to get these peppers. Ooh. Fancy graphic. Okay. So,
Nice.
what's next?
I think we figured out what we need to do. We figured out how we're going to hopefully administer it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see what you did earlier. We did novel application, but we didn't say anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm reading through these. Continue.
I think what Daisy is going to do is try to make essentially like a catnip.
Mm-hmm.
And
Revenip.
yeah, I'm going to grow it into the plants and have them grow into his nest area, so it hopefully calms him before we do trying to administer anything to him.
That sounds good. Yeah. So is this your plant friend ability?
Mhm.
Or yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Are you giving the plant a gift in exchange for an ace?
Yes, I think I'm just growing some little catnip sprigs and just kind of handing it out one by one to all the little plants. You
Nice.
take this and wave it. You take that. Yes, hold it up big and yeah, like that. Okay, you get one.
That's so fucking cute.
And
That's
you
adorable.
get one.
I love that. All
I'm
right.
trying to figure out how to use one of my moves.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have
Go ahead.
I have the move I've seen this before, which is through your travels you've seen a monster acting the way this one is acting now. You've got a good idea what it might do next.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to figure out how to use it. Because I'm a potato. I have not yet gone from being a pumpkin to being a carriage.
It sounds like I've seen this before is more used in the symbiosis phase. Which is the next one.
It's weird because in the move list I'm pretty sure it says synthesis. Let me double check. Because I may have written it down wrong. Hold on.
Yeah, it's symbiosis.
Oh, well then I wrote it down wrong. Probably because I swapped out a move and didn't swap it properly.
That's going to be very useful in the symbiosis phase.
Yeah, okay. I fixed it in my character sheet. So.
Word. Okay.
Anyway, never mind.
Okay.
So what ability would I be... sorry, what role would I be making here again, Danielle?
So in order to use that ability, you don't actually need to make a roll, but if you want to tack on something on top of it to actually maybe that might be okay, here's the plan. Because you're talking about how you're going to calm down Yaki before you even get there.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me.
So go ahead and roll plus fine.
Okay.
And I think you can add an additional +1 because this is apothecarology.
Yes.
See, we both did that in fine.
10.
Hey!
Nice. All right. So we get to mark another success on this clock.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
And you get to additionally ask 2 of what are the foreseeable risks with this plan? What do we need to make this plan work? What is one unforeseen risk to this plan?
And I can ask 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The one I didn't ask was what are the foreseeable risks when I asked earlier.
Yeah, I'll ask that as my first question.
Okay. You know that by taking this up to Yaki's nest, he's going to have the home turf advantage. And so like you'll have the benefit of having him somewhat pre-calmed, but also he knows the terrain better. And it's going to be very dangerous to do this.
Okay. Can I also do another thing?
What is it? Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
I would like to give each of the plants an additional. I would like to kind of like make not a sleep potion, but kind of something similar to the catnip, but work on people. And in case the plants find that person that hurt Yaki in the first place,
Okay.
throw this one at him.
Okay. That sounds like a novel application.
Okay.
Which is when you invent a new way to apply a medicine or treatment, tell the table what it is and ask the guide for a complication. I think the complication for this particular thing is it's going to take them a long time to find the person.
They're just little plants.
They're just little plants, and they have extensive root networks that they'll be able to ask around and stuff, but physically taking the sleep potion to this person, even if they find him, is going to take a while. But you have some confidence that they're going to be able to find them. because they're all pretty gung ho about this. They're mad that this person like gave this yucky stuff to their friends in the forest, and that the person made Yaki sick and caused these avalanches that crushed all of their friends in the farms. So like, yeah, they take the potion from you and start to pass it amongst their friends in order to find the person, but it's gonna take a while.
Okay. I'm totally good with that. Just be like,
Okay, I want to try and figure out how like a possible way to bust these weird crystals.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not gonna be able to do much when those are in the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna seek wisdom, I guess, on this, because that makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Which is technically when you ask a local source about the materials you need, but I'm just trying to ask, like, do you know what these are, or what they could be, and how I could break them? I could ask them 2 questions, and I roll plus allure, which is a 0, but I have public speaking?
Okay.
I don't know if that would
can
help.
do it.
Sure, take +1.
That's a 9.
Yay!
So that
9. So that is 1 will be a lie and 1 will be the truth. I don't think it's a lie. I think it's misinformation. But
Yeah,
I don't
so
think
like
these people are going to willfully lie to you.
it's just, do you know what these are and what I could possibly use to break them? Like, they're on his head and like around his neck,
Mm-hmm.
like a weird crown situation.
Mm-hmm. So the first person you ask is like, oh yeah, those are definitely ice crystals. And they Yaki has grown usually grows them like on other things, not on himself. So it's weird that they're on him, but those are definitely ice crystals. And the other person is like, oh yeah, I mean you can just hit him with a rock. That should be enough, because it sounds like there may be the way that the crystals are growing. They have not very high shear strength, and so you should just be able to kind of like hit him with something hard to break them off, break off the pieces. Kind of like how you can like nap flint, essentially.
This is Fred and Fred, definitely.
Yep. We have
like,
3 named NPCs.
It's fine. Okay. Well, I have this information now, and I don't know which one's misinformation and which one's truth. I can possibly guess which is which. Hey, Daisy.
Hmm.
How are you about fire?
Well, it kind of depends. I mean, what are you thinking about fire?
So remember those crystals that are on Yaki?
Oh, I don't really like where you're going with this.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be fire. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But we gotta get them off somehow. And I would rather throw something hot at him than throw a rock at him.
Please tell me you heard yourself as you said that out loud.
Yes, I did, and it's still. Listen, you wanted to throw hot tea at his face.
No, I said make him drink tea. It's a
How
very
is
big
he
difference.
supposed to drink the tea when we can't get near him?
Like I said, you go up and you ask him, would you like some tea? It will help with your nose.
You're gonna get bit.
And your point.
He has a big mouth.
Erwin's just like, yeah, what's your point?
He's a big mouth. A bite will take your arm off. Holds up my arm.
But I have voice of the wind. I'm not worried about it. Seriously.
I'm worried about it.
Well, I know you're worried about it.
Me.
What was that?
Nothing.
Okay, so a thought. Okay.
I want you to know Cascade is refraining from sassing. She makes a face. It's
Okay.
go on.
What instead of catnip, we choose something a little worse? I mean, not worse. In like, I mean, well, what if we make him sleepy and then we can just pull the crystals off of him and then just throw the balls in his mouth and like give him a warm blanket and make sure he has a cup of tea waiting for him. Like,
make sure we don't get shocked.
Well, obviously, don't bring a fleece blanket.
No, we're gonna bring a wool blanket.
No, that. Okay, well, you're more than welcome to. If it just
It was sarcasm. Daisy, it was sarcasm.
I'm still learning what that is. And it really confuses me.
Sometimes I think you're literally made of plants.
But I am.
I swear to God.
I'm Daisy.
Just Cascade stares into the middle distance. Okay. But you already gave the plants the catnip.
Well, I could just give them something else and just be like super strong.
Okay, no, there's... We don't... Do you know how this dragon is going to react to catnip?
Probably have a lot of fun.
Well, okay, there's two different kinds of fun here. There is the flop over and stare into infinity kind of fun, which is what we would prefer, and there's the goes fucking bonkers. So unless you have a giant feather toy...
Do we have access to lasers?
No. No, what?
I mean, well, like it's just like a big giant cat. Like when they have an issue, you just let them chase the laser around.
No, we don't have that.
What? Why not?
Because this is a Ghibli movie.
I need these two in an actual campaign together. Oh, beautiful.
Fuck.
Oh man.
Oh god.
Okay.
This is a Ghibli movie, that's what I said, Dirk.
I mean, I could hold up some red flowers and like try to distract. Would that work?
You are going to get eaten.
Not necessarily. He protects the village. He protects
He's got
the
false gold in his
field as
system.
well. I understand that, but like this is what he does on a regular basis. So like why would he suddenly become hostile?
The false gold! The false gold! That's why!
I
We've
think you're
dealt with
just an
multiple
unbeliever.
monsters. What?
I think you're an unbeliever.
I think you are underestimating what false gold can do to a monster. Especially a big one that controls the weather.
Yeah, but what do you suggest to do about it?
What we've been doing?
Which is,
Throw things at it.
you can't just throw things at your problems, though.
It has worked so far. I'm gonna throw hot water balloons at it. And see if that breaks the crystals off. That's what I'm gonna do.
I think Daisy is just going to like hide as many plants away from Cascade at this time as she possibly can.
Okay.
Just
Cascade
like-
over here, like, okay, I'm gonna make hot water, but I gotta make sure it doesn't. Can I make a fire plant? Ooh, I could try and make a fire plant. I'm not saying that that's actually what she does, but she's gonna like try and figure out how to do it. But that's gonna take multiple plant hybridizations that they don't have time for.
Right.
Okay, we need one more tick on this clock. What can we
We do need one more tick. That could be. I could hear an okay. Here's the plan for that. For figuring out throw water balloons.
Yeah,
Hot water
okay.
balloons.
Okay, I'll do that. I don't think Apothecary is gonna help with that.
No.
That's a roll 2d6 plus 1. Yeah, I had to double check because I remember my stats. That's a 7.
7. All right. Pick one. So I mark the clock segment a success, and you pick one of the questions.
What is an unforeseen risk to this plan?
Throwing hot water at a dragon.
And I feel like that's a foreseen risk. I feel like Cascade already knows that this is a bad idea. but
He's
she's
not going
doing
to
it
like it
anyway.
as much as you think he is.
Again, I feel like that's a foreseen risk.
Let's see.
I came up with one if you want to hear it.
Yeah, go for it. What is it?
The static electricity could pop the balloons before they get close enough.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have filled the synthesis clock. You have sent catnip up to Yaki in order to hopefully get him drugged out before you get there. You have figured out you've gotten the hot peppers for your tincture to make a tea. And you have made these hot water balloons in order to hopefully melt the crystals that are blocking Yaki's face from you being able to get stuff to his mouth easily. When the clock is full, it's time to move on. Check the clock. If every segment is marked success, it's not. If more than one segment is marked success, roll plus successful segments. So who wants to roll +3?
Who rolled last time? Was it you?
It was me.
So I'll roll it this time. So that's 2d6 plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's an 11.
An 11, yeah.
Whoop.
10 plus, gain a critical ace. And choose one. Tell the guide where you confront the monster. Tell the guide about a trap you've set for the monster. Tell the guide about an ally you have with you when you confront the monster. Tell the guide about one major modification to your usual equipment that you have made.
Is Ivy the person who usually deals with Yaki, or is there somebody specific?
I think Ivy is usually the person, like the go-between. She's happy to go with you, though, if you want her help.
Yes.
Okay.
Because.
All right. Symbiosis phase. You have your diagnosis, you have your tools, it's time to get to work. In the symbiosis phase, you square off against the monster and attempt to heal their wounds. Symbiosis is the most different phase of the three. You take actions and follow moves to see what happens, but symbiosis doesn't use a clock to track your progress. Instead, you use your skills and ability to cure the wounds causing the monster to go berserk. If you've succeeded in the previous phases, you have a ton of help here, and you should be able to apply your cures relatively easily. But if you failed the previous phases, blah, 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 blah. So we have this track. This track is the control track. You start on the left side, the monster starts on the right side. You can move up and down this track depending on like how moves go. The space of the track that you are on determines what die you use in order to roll cure wounds. So right now you're on the D4 segment. So you, like, if you were to roll cure wounds right now, you would roll 1d4. Is it 1d4? I think it's 1d4. Yeah, you roll 1d4 instead of your usual 2d6. In order to plus any aces you decide to spend in order to cure. And in order to cure, you need a normal kind of success. And there's some caveats in there. Okay, so you head up to Yaki's nest. As you get there, he appears to be relatively calm. He's kind of snuffling his nose in the catnip, but also, like, that's rubbing this false gold liquid all over these plants, and the plants are freezing, and so it's like new ones come forward, and then the ones that have been frostbitten fall back. Like a constant changing of the guard kind of thing. And you are prepared with your cures of choice. What do you do? I need to roll up to the wounds that are here.
Let's see.
So the wounds that Yaki has, okay.
Uh-oh.
Pause for a moment. Nichelle disconnected. Gonna wait for her to come back.
Yep, minor technical difficulties. What? Vamping is hard. We're talking to Brian, not just the air. He's being mean on purpose by not letting anybody hear him. I love Erwin so much. I'm so glad it was like Erwin has to be in this game, and you were like, yes.
Yep. Yep.
'Cause I don't know who you were planning on the mentor to be before, but
Hey, you're back.
hello.
Hello.
Give me just a minute. It's still not connecting correctly.
Okay.
Erwin, best himbo.
It's true.
Cascade, tired of everybody's shit.
Oh, come on. Computer, figure it out. Is it
Smack it.
possible to take like a 5-minute break? Well, I mean, I can try
Yeah.
smacking it, but I don't think I was going to do anything.
Yeah, let's take a quick 5-minute break before we begin this phase in earnest. All right, so let's cure this dragon.
Fuck yeah.
So the way that this particular phase works is that we have a control track that goes from D4 all the way up to D12. Our monster care specialists start on the D4 side, the monster starts on the D12 side, and the different moves that you can use during this phase will either move you up or down the control track in order to gain control. You gain control whenever you push the monster back on the control track. So anytime a move says push the monster back, you gain control. You can occupy the same space as the monster on the control track, but if the monster were to move forward one, you would move back one. If you share the same space. Like, you can't pass each other, I guess. The Cure Wounds move uses whatever die you are on the control track of, plus any aces that you use. Thank you, Izzy. So there are 3 wounds to cure. Each of the wounds has a passive and an active effect, which we'll find out as we go. So, you have arrived at Yaki's nest. What do you do first?
Cascade with her fucking water balloons is going
Had
to.
first. I love this in character. Please continue doing this. So anyway, I just start blasting.
Fire again! No, miss, no fire again! We're going up there because she's gonna try to get to a point where she can just yeet them. So it's a D4 plus force. And I want to use a session ace so that I roll 2 D4 plus force.
Okay.
So
go ahead and try to cure that wound, I guess.
I don't know if boxing helps me here. Does boxing help me here?
Wait, hang on. Which move are you using again? We're
going up there?
Okay, yeah, good. Okay. So roll 2d6 plus force.
I thought it was I thought we were rolling.
That's specifically for the cure move.
It's specifically for the cure. Okay, so
yeah. Okay, so we're going up there. You still roll 2d6 plus your force. I don't know if boxing helps because boxing is not throwing.
That's fair. That's fair. Can I still use a session ace?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So add +4 to whatever your roll is. Or 1d4, not just +4. Eight.
It's an 8.
Nice.
That didn't really help much.
Yep. On a 7 to 9, you get stranded halfway there. Spend an ace to move up 1 on the control track or lose your footing.
How many aces do we have again?
You now have 3 session aces and 2 critical aces.
What do you think, Nichelle? Should I spend an ace to move us forward?
This is going to set the pace and the scene for the rest of it, so I'm going to say yes.
Okay, move us up on a control track. So now we're down to 2 session aces.
Okay. And you move up on the control track. Word. All right. As you move forward, the you begin to slip on the frostbitten foliage, catnip, that is under your feet. And as you move forward, you throw one of your water balloons on the ground in front of you in order to melt some of that ice so that you don't slip and fall. Now what? Yaki turns to look up at you, trying to blink away some of these gold tears that mar his vision.
His turn.
Question: can I actually talk to Yaki?
Sure. I can't promise yet an answer.
Yeah, I think as we try to get closer. Like, I'm trying to give Cascade a way to get in closer while I'm sort of talking and hopefully causing a little bit of a distraction.
Okay,
Um,
yeah.
Hi. I'm Daisy. I know you're not feeling the best. Somebody did this to you and we're just trying to help. If you want, we can get this stuff off your nose. It will help out a lot, I promise.
That sounds like a set 'em up. So
I
go
mean,
ahead and
we
roll.
can. Okay. I could give you some tea. It'll help.
Yeah, roll plus fine, and let's see how this goes.
Okay, roll plus fine. Okay. Should I use one of the should I go ahead and use one of our Sesson aces here?
Uh,
I mean, if he's cooperative, that would help out a lot.
A 10 plus here would advance you on the control track.
yeah, go for it.
Okay.
With like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the audience that you can give us aces.
$10 for an ace, or $5 and talk to us about financial hardship, something. The minimum donation is $10. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and roll with that additional ace. And what does that give me?
Plus D4.
So it's 2d6 plus d4 plus the stat.
Mm-hmm. 11. Nice.
Yes, 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 yes.
Excellent. Yeah, that definitely that would have just been a 7 to 9, but that bumps it up all the way.
Yes.
So you advance on the control track, and you get to pick one of the following. You set someone up perfectly, give +1 to a teammate as long as they exploit the situation you created. You catch a glimpse of a hidden truth, gain a session ace. You get a moment to diagnose the monster's wounds, ask the guide one thing the monster can do, one thing it can't do to its wounds.
What is something that we can do to obviously de-escalate his pain and stuff right now?
So that sounds like a glimpse of a hidden truth. So I think as you talk to him, he turns his gaze from Cascade to you, Daisy. And for the first time you hear him speak, his voice is deep and almost musical sounding. But again, you can hear that reverberation off of the crystals around his head and neck. And he says, something like, I can't think, I can't hear, I can't. and he like claws at the crystals around his head and neck. You think that is probably maybe one of the best places to start. And you gained a session ace.
It's okay. We're going to take care of it. And if you just hold still, it will be easier to pull them off. I know, it's really disorienting. See, I told you all we had to do was come up and ask. For all you want, but it's working.
I'm gonna throw things at it now.
No. He's letting us get closer. Let us try to get this stuff off. I think
Sounds like a cure either way.
Yeah.
So to roll plus cure, you're going to roll 1d8. In order to cure a wound flat, you need to get a 10 plus. A 7 and 9 will also cure a wound, but at a cost. So if you want to add something to your roll using an ace, now would be the time. A session ace adds plus 1d4. A critical ace adds plus 1d8.
Use the critical ace.
Use it.
Use it.
Use
All
it.
right. So roll 2d8.
Are you rolling Cascade?
I
Or you
can.
want me to roll?
That means I'm gonna throw balloons at him.
Okay. I'll roll. Okay, 2d8 plus
It's just 2d8.
Just 2d8.
2d8. All right, let's do this.
That is
shit!
16! That was 8 and 8!
Nice!
Do we get
I think
anything for that being like...
I'm going to give you something for that. I'm going to give you a session ace for that.
Yes!
Because holy shit. All right, on a 10 plus, you heal the monster's wound and they lose the abilities that wound granted them. So you tiptoe forward and carefully start breaking off the jagged crystals that grow around his head and neck. You, as you get the first ones off from around his head, Cascade is able to come up and instead of throwing them, kind of like punctures the balloons on the crystal shards, and the hot water washes over them and they begin to melt. So well done. You have cured the jagged crystalline structures on Yaki's head and neck that amplify his voice so that his cries crack the mountains and cause landslides or avalanches. Good job. And I think once you have gotten the crystalline structures off, he kind of leans, like rears up and away and kind of shakes his head and sends some of this gold flying everywhere. Yeah. And when he does this, like he says thank you as he does it. But then you see his fur spark, and a blizzard kicks up. The wind picks up and the skies darken, and snow begins to fall heavier. Your vision is limited. And you hear him call out to you like, stay back, I don't want you to get hurt. What do you do?
You want me to keep talking to him? I can try to exchange something with him.
Well,
Or is it, you have an idea? What you got?
I was going to do get in the way.
Huh?
When you stand between your allies and terrible danger, roll plus a grit.
But that's gonna prove Cascade's point. Yes, please do it.
So I'm gonna do that and use a session ace to add to it.
Okay.
So it's 2d6, 1 and 1d4 plus 1, and I'm monster biology. Does that help me?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. 2d6 plus 1d4 plus 2. Wow. That's a 12!
Nice.
Yes.
All right. On a 10 plus, you channel the danger away from you and back towards the monster, push back the monster on the control track. So you call up a wall of foliage around yourself and Daisy that protects you from the worst of the winds and the howling snow and hail. You have control. You may attempt to cure another wound. What do you do?
Give me the tea. Give me the tea.
You want the tea?
Give me the tea. I'm gonna give him the tea.
The tea that you said probably wouldn't work?
Listen, I don't know how else to attempt to make him stop making a blizzard happen.
Maybe he's just cold. Have you thought about offering a blanket?
Or
Don't
we could
give
do
me
that.
that look. I'm
we
learning
could do
fast.
Okay, give me the blanket you brought.
Like, here's the blanket and here's the tea.
Okay, we're gonna do the blanket. I'm gonna throw it over him, and maybe that'll stop the sparking.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's a D8. Should I do a session ace or a critical ace on this one?
This is curing. I would say go for the critical right now.
Okay, so that's 2d8. Yeah, we're gonna do the critical ace. I'm gonna do 2d8. Wow. That is a 15.
Nice.
That's
Excellent.
a 15. I
That
throw
is a
the blanket
15.
over him.
You throw the blanket over him, and you can see the sparks, like, arc up to meet the blanket in the same way that if you, like, pull a blanket off a cat, all of the hair stands up.
It's like all of his fur is just whoop.
But as you throw the blanket over him, and the blanket kind of, like, droops to the ground,
Very big blanket.
it's a huge blanket. We don't ask questions. And thus grounded, the sparking seems to stop, and the winds. It's still snowing, but the winds have died down to the point where you're not in danger of like being blown off the mountain anymore. Well done. You have successfully cured the wound that causes Yaki's fur to crackle with painful sparks, energizing the atmosphere and calling down terrible storms.
Just pats his side, like, okay, almost there. Let's fix your face.
All right. He like you can see him kind of like full body shivering as the sparks go away.
I told you he was cold.
Well, now he has a blanket.
The false gold is still kind of pouring from his eyes and nose, and it's weird because it almost seems like it's worse now that the other symptoms are better. Like he
gotta
keeps
get worse before you get better.
he keeps like sneezing, and then like the stuff coats all of the foliage in front of him, and like it all freezes.
Buddy. Oh,
he's just
buddy.
like
I think Cascade's just like, oh, buddy. Like, pat. I think
what
the pepper
do you
tea
do?
is definitely going to help here.
Mm-hmm. So are you gonna just try to cure again? You still have control.
Yeah, I think we should.
Do you want to do it, or do you want me to do it? And do you want to use multiple session aces to make this work?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna try to give the tea with the. I just like put a couple of the balls that we were supposed to give him anyway, and just like drop them in like a little tea ball, and just kind of stir it up. And give it to him to hopefully
It's like a bowl of tea.
Mhm.
With boba.
Yeah,
Just boba.
yeah. So
Uh-huh.
it's 1d8 and how many? Because
You-
this has to be a 10.
You have 2 session aces left.
You want me to use them? Because
Yeah,
this would be, we have to cure 3 times, right?
Yep.
This would be the third cure, so just use both of them.
Okay, so that would be
1d8
3d8.
plus 2d6. 2d4.
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 Mhm.
1d8 plus 2d4.
7.
Oh!
All right. On a
It's
7
still
to
a
9,
success.
Good thing I used
you
it.
Yeah.
choose 1. Heal the wound, but at great cost. The wound mutates, shifts, or changes, but you've seen this before. Advance 1 on the control check. Your cure fails, but sets up your team. Say how, and give one teammate +1 to their next move as long as it uses what you set up. I will let you name the cost if you decide to cure the wound now.
I think I'm going to cure the wound, but I think he gets one last sneeze out. And I think Daisy's just kind of frozen in place.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Because that makes the most sense.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So you give him the tea, he drinks it up. And as he drinks it, you can tell like his ears perk up a little bit. And
It warms up from them peppers.
warms up from them peppers. You can see like a little bit of steam arising from his mouth. And then he begins to like sneeze uncontrollably. Basically like just getting rid of all this stuff that's in his respiratory system. And when he's done sneezing, he no longer appears to be exuding this false gold anymore. There's still some of the tracks, like tear tracks on his face, but he's not producing any more. And Daisy is frozen stiff in front of him.
Oh no.
Yaki thanks you profusely, carries Daisy back down the mountain along with Cascade, and I guess Ivy was also there.
Yeah. We didn't actually need Ivy's help.
You rolled really well. And they
This
post
is where my weird fire plants can come in handy.
Yep. They post Daisy up in the inn. And Daisy, you get better. It's gonna take you a while.
You get a
like,
cold.
Maybe you have to sit out of the next mission, kind of like how Erwin sat out this one. But it takes you a while to heal. Everyone is very happy to see that Yaki is better. When he walks into the town, everyone comes out to greet him and cheer and bring him gifts of like meat and fish and fruits and things like that. And everybody thanks you, and they throw a party, and everyone lives happily ever after. The end.
It's real good though.
Right on time.
Yeah. We did it.
We did it. All right. This has been Monster Care Squad by Sandy Pug Games. You can find them on Twitter at Sandy Pug Games. Or you can find this game directly on their itch, sandypuggames.itch.io/Monster Care Squad. Playing with me today has been Nichelle.
Yay! You can find me on Twitter at Mistletoe T-Rex, or on itch, itch-mistletoe kiss. And yeah, it's been fantastic to play Monster Care Squad.
Yeah. And Izzy.
I've been Izzy. You can find me on Twitter at the Shondeer. You can find Hearthside Enclave, another podcasting group, that I have podcasts on at HS Enclave on Twitter. Monster Care Squad is great, and I want to play more of it.
Love to play in this just gentle world.
Good.
It's very good. I've been Danielle. You can continue to find me on the internet at RedtailTalk90. I'll be back many times today, so just wait 10 minutes.
I'm gonna be back in watch 3 hours.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us for this game. We're going to take a very quick break and then be back at 1-ish p.m. EST for our next game, Low Stakes. Bye.
I forgot they can't see our faces. I waved.